Hey everyone, this is Misty here to do a video on the beading loom. First, I want to welcome everybody back to my channel. I want to excuse with the way this looks. I'm using my laptop camera, so that's the best I can do right now, but I hope you enjoy this video anyway. I received this beading loom from a friend of mine, Ingrid, in the Netherlands. Yeah, I said it right. Anyway, and I told Fiona this would be my next video, so I'm going to do one today. So what you're going to need is a beading loom. They're pretty inexpensive. You can get them at Hobby Lobby, Michael's. I think you can get it at Joann's too. I'm not sure, but I think you can. So you need one of them. What else you need is you need some thread. I'm using today, it's a 14-pound Fireline is what I'm using just for the video. The holes in these beads are pretty big. I've used this before. Yes, it does do good. Just makes makes it a little stiffer and holds together better. I think you can use whatever you want. You can use an 8-pound, 10-pound, whatever you want. You can use Wildfire as well. I have Wildfire, but I've chose this. You're gonna need a size 12 needle. You're going to need to thread it with, I think this 2 arm spans of thread. You can work with whatever is comfortable for you. You're going to need some sea beads. I'm using a turquoise 6 check glass. I am using I think this is a mint, whatever it is, green. I can't pronounce the word, but it's a 6/0 check as well. You're going to need a good pair of scissors. These here that I have, it is from Stampin' Up. I'm a Stampin' Up demonstrator now, so I got these scissors. I'm always looking for a good pair of scissors to cut through thread, and these here are absolutely perfect for it. I've cut in cardstock, I've cut in what else? Cardboard, all kinds of things, and these are still sharp and work good. So $10. This is an awesome investment. I definitely will be getting another pair of these, and so yeah, love these. So if y'all want a pair, get a hold of me, and I'll tell you how to do it. These are awesome, seriously. And that is what you're gonna need. I've got a beading mat here. I got this beading mat at Hobby Lobby, a pack of 3 for $2.99, I think. So so let's get started. I am not a master at this, by no means, but I'm going to show you how I do it. I need to move my thread out of the way. So what I do is I take one end of the thread and I tie it around this screw here, or I usually do until it comes off, and I just tie it around. And I just tied it in a knot. You're going to cut it off anyway. So, and then you take your thread and you decide how many lengths apart you want your thread. Then you take it and you take it around the other screw on the other side, and you come back up. And I'm only going to do it one thread apart. Let me get me some thread off here, and then you bring it down and you put it in the next one, and you do that until you have as many threads as you want, width apart. I'm only going to do there's 4. I'm only going to do 5, and then I'm going to take it and wrap it around. You can tie it if you want to. Let me get my scissors here. I normally tie it because I want it to be good and sturdy. I don't want it to come undone. So what I do is I just make a loop, and then I take one end of my thread and I go back through that loop, my fingers in the way. So you make a loop around, and then you go back through that loop and you get it like a little half hitch knot. Sorry if I wasn't in frame, it's kind of hard to do in frame. So there's that. And then you want to take and unscrew, and you want to make sure that's tight. You know, you don't want it super tight to where it'll break, but tight enough. And then you tighten it up. So there is that. There's plenty of videos on how to use a beading loom, to set it up, more descriptive than what I do. So, you know, you can always go to another video and look. It's whatever your preference is, whatever you want to do. I'm going to take some of my beads without making a mess, and I'm going to dump some out. Now you can use any kind of bead. You just have to make your threads farther apart. But I'm just going to use C beads because I think it'd be cool. Now, to get started, you want to take your thread and pull this over. Take your thread, go up underneath the first thread, and you want to tie it. Tie it on there. And, you know, don't be like me and pretend to tie it. And I keep it close over to the edge, and I'm going to put a couple knots. I'm going to tie it a couple times to make sure it stays. You don't want it to come undone, because the thread that you're tying on is how you're going to sew the beads on. So there you go. Now, using a beading loom is fairly easy. You just pick up your beads, and mine is, you're going to pick up 3 beads. I've got 1, 2, 3, 5 going across. Your beads are going to go in between. No, you're going to pick up 4. I'm lost. Okay, you pick up 4. Your beads are going to go in between the threads like that, and you're going to hold it up there and pull your thread through. The first one's always hard to get started, so you're going to pull your thread through. Let me try this again. Take your beads, you put it in between each thread. It's going to say in between like that, and it goes underneath, not on top. So you put your beads on, you go underneath, you put your beads in between each thread from the underside, from the bottom side. Then you take your needle and you run it back through those beads, going over the top of the threads. Okay, and then you're going to pull it, and I'm going to scoot them all the way down, and that's what you're going to have. Okay, that's what it's going to look like. Now I'm alternating beads, colors, anyway. So there's your beads. You're going to take it, and you want to take it all the way down to the end of your thread where you can, and then you're going to pop it up from the underneath, from the bottom, pop it up through each thread. Take your needle, run it through the beads, going over the top of the thread. That way your beads are held on, and make sure it's over the top, or your beads will not stay on. Just like that. And get my thread uncaught here, and then you're going to pull your needle, your thread through, and make sure that your beads are down at the end. That's how it's going to look. Again, you know what, I think I'm going to put some pink in here. So I've got some Beyond Pink 6.0. I'm going to put some pink in here for no other reason but because I think it would look really cool. So let's put some pink in this bracelet without mixing my colors, because that would really upset me. So you can use as many colors as you want. It doesn't matter how many you use. It's bound to look awesome. I think the more different colors, the more the better it looks, but that's just me. Again, I'll show you. I'll tip this and see if I can show you. Take your beads, you put it up from the bottom like that. You hold them there because sometimes they'll come undone. Take your thread, your needle, run it through all the beads going on top like that, on top of the threads, and pull. You want to make sure that your beads are held in place, and it's held in place by the thread. So you're just sewing, and then you just keep doing that. It's really simple to make. I love working with the beading loom. I haven't done too much on it because I get frustrated when it comes time to take it off the loom and make it into what you want to make it into, but it really gives a cool effect, and you can do all kinds of things. I mean, you can make, I've seen people put faces on them and all of that. I am so not that talented. It looks very frustrating to me, but you know, it's probably easy. All the hard stuff are actually easy, and all the easy stuff is actually hard. Alright, remember to run the needle over top of the threads when you run it through, and pull. Don't pull it super tight. You don't need to, because it'll just make it look all kinds of, I don't know what. So, oops, I'm getting all tangled up here, guys. If my hands are getting in the way, I'm sorry. So, there you go. There's your beads. Poke it through, run your needle through, and this actually moves pretty fast. It takes no time. Make sure you push them down and together. That way they stay, the rows of beads stay neat and uniformed, per se. If you want to use the word uniform, you don't have to, but I am today. So I really like how this is looking with the pink. I'm glad I decided to put pink in it. And this would work so much better if I would just wear my glasses, y'all. But I don't do it because I'm stubborn. I just pull it. Seriously, I love these beads together. Again, just take your beads, you thread them on, you take it underneath, push them up, run your needle through the beads going on top of the threads. So putting the beads on, you go from the bottom. To sew them on, you go from the top, unless you're like me and you mess it up like I did. Because that's how I roll, apparently. So I'm just running this back through, picking that bead up that I dropped off, or however I did it. That's what happens when you don't run. Make sure the thread's going on top when you sew it on. If you don't make sure the needle is going through the bead on top of these threads, your beads will fall off, and that is just what happened to me. Yes, it worked that time. Alright. It's very simple, you guys. I love it. I love what it does. I like making bookmarkers like this too. I'm thinking about making a bunch of bookmarkers like this for the library, my local library. I like to, usually I make paper bookmarkers, but I'm thinking beading bookmarkers would look awesome. Alright, I'm going to do this another way. Now here's another way you can do it. If a bead falls off, just go back. No, don't do that. That's not going to look right. I'm having issues this morning. This is what happens when you're not paying attention and you have to go back and correct yourself. You pull a me. So you're seeing all of my mistakes. I am not going to edit this video because, you know, I don't care if you guys see that I mess up. I mean, sometimes that's not necessarily a bad thing. Because we all make mistakes, and I think when I watch a video and somebody makes a mistake and they're like, I'm not taking this out, I'm leaving it on there, it just kind of helps me feel confident that it's okay that you make mistakes. You know, there we go. Pick up 4 more, and you are going to let it drop to the end. Take your needle under the thread, put your beads in place like that. And if I was out of frame, I'm sorry, I'm not meaning to be. Run your thread through. Do not get your thread caught. That seriously bites when you do that. Pick up some more. Let it go down to the end. Take your needle, go under. Poke your beads up like that. Take your needle, go through the beads, going on top of the threads to hold them in place, and pull your thread. That's what it's going to look like. Now, if you want, pause this, finish this up, and then come back, and then we're going to attempt to end it off. So go ahead and finish up, and then come back, and we'll adventure in ending this bracelet or whatever we're going to use it for. So, alright, I'll be back. Okay guys, I'm back. As you finished with the beading part, I love them colors together. Right there, and you are going to pull, and then you are going to take and go up between your thread bridge, and you're going to add a half hitch knot, and then you're going to go up through the pink, maybe, ouch, without running it through your finger. And you're going to do that, just continue adding your half hitch knots between your thread bridges, and you're going to keep going up. Now I'm adding several because I want my beads to stay. I don't want them to fall off, so you just continually add your knots. As many as you want. I mean, it really doesn't matter how many you add. This is what I'm adding. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and stop there. Now, I'm going to do something a little different when I end this. Go ahead and cut your thread. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I need to find my crimp beads. And I am going to try and use let's see what I want to use. I don't have silver, so we're going to use some crimp beads, and I'm going to try and add this clasp. It is a multi-strand. There's 2, 4, there's 5 on there. This is what I'm going to try to do. So if it doesn't work, I will be so sad. But I think it will. you're going to need your crimping pliers or just a regular pair of pliers. Okay, so, oh, wish me luck, you guys. Wish me luck. Unscrew your little thingamabobber here, and then you want to cut this thread. Now, I'm only going to do one side at a time because I'm scared. I'm scared, you guys. I'm scared. I don't know how this is going to work. Alright, so those of you that know how to do the crimps and all that stuff, I'm going to take the one that I cut, I'm going to put a crimp on it, and then I'm going to take my what do you call it, my binding, and I'm going to run the thread back down, maybe, and I'm going to take the end of that thread and I'm going to pull it, and then take your crimping pliers and put it in the first hole and crimp, and then put it in the second hole to close it, like that. And now it's on there. Now you can use crimping pliers if you want. It's whatever you want to do. Not crimping pliers, but oh, what is it? Wire protectors. I'm not going to, one, because I don't have any. So, you need to make sure that is like closed good, guys. Okay, it's closed good. Take the next string and just continually do that until you get it the way you want it. Okay. Continue doing that until they're all hooked to your binding. Okay, so your crimp is on. Take your thread, run it through the next hole of the binding. Whoops. And then you want to take it and run it back through that crimp. And I'm not using a needle because I don't want to, honestly. I don't want to put a needle on here. But if you feel comfortable doing a needle, then do a needle. Again, you want to, without tearing it up, I am just going to use my pliers. Oh, it'll be so much easier. So, just take a pair of flathead pliers, needle nose, whatever you got, and you want to squeeze the crimp. Just like that. Take the next thread and just keep going until you get it done. It's a little bit of a pain, but you know, and you can use crimp covers as well. I don't have any of them. I will get some for this bracelet. But after you crimp, you can put a crimp cover on, and it just looks like a bead there. They are really cool. By my understandings, I've never used them. I've never had any. I would so love to get some, and I may. Here we go. And then just flatten it out. Okay, and then your last thread, you want to cut it. I hope you guys can see this. I'm sorry if I'm out of frame. I'm not trying to be. Add your crimp. Run it through the next hole in your clasp. Whoa. Whoa. Small thumbs today. There we go. Run it through. Run your thread through your crimp. As soon as I get all that thread out of the way, and you want to pull it, take your pliers and smash your crimp. And then the last one, add your crimp, run it through the bar, the last hole of your clasp, and then through the last crimp you've got, and pull that thread. Woo! Tearing it up, y'all, tearing it up. Pull it without tearing your piece up or dropping it and all of that fun stuff I seem to be doing, and smash it. Now this thread you can take up through if you want. I don't know if I can do it. Run it through a couple beads, whatever you want to do. Me, I'm going to try to run it through at least one bead. There we go. Now you can burn your threads, you can clip them, whatever you want to do. I'm just going to cut them because this is just for video purposes. You can get a bead cap put on it. It'll look like a bead. It'll look much polished and neater than the way it probably looks right now from how I'm doing it. Like I said, doing it this way was a spur of the moment. I was thinking about how I was going to end it off, and I'm so glad I chose this way. So there is that end. That's what it looks like. Put your bead covers on there, use wire protectors, whatever you want to use. That is, I love doing it this way, and I will do it this way for now on. Yes, I will. Love, love, love. So you want to take your other threads off here, and you definitely want to cut that like you did on the other end. We're going to move our loom out of the way. Okay, so we are going to do this end now, and we will start, let's see what end we're going to start with. Let's start with this end over here. So cut your thread, the little loop. Okay, thread your crimp on like that, put your clasp on, run your thread through the crimp and pull it. Make sure it's kind of snug but not too snug, and squeeze it. The next thread, it's a little time consuming, you guys, but hey, you know, if it works, right? Run your thread through there, get your crimp where it needs to be without destroying your project. Oh my gosh, if I destroy my project, I will cry. I'm not even lying, you guys. I would seriously sit here and cry if I messed this up after doing all this work. And you pull it down, and hold your crimp, make sure you got it where you want it, and squeeze your crimp. Then on to the next one after you cut it. Scissors. Okay, add your crimp, run it through. I know it looks like a mess now, but you guys will see that it looks awesome. I love this. I'm seriously gonna make more and do this. Yes, this makes me excited. Really makes me excited about working more with my loom now that I have found a way to end this without all the hassle of, you know, the tape and glue and the felt and all that stuff that people do. And if it works for them, so be it. Me, yeah, not so much. I'm cutting my threads right now. Get them out of the way. Okay. Take the next one. Add your crimp. Oh my goodness, you guys, this is going to be awesome to make a bunch of these for the festival next year, because we're not doing it this year. We've had so much going on that we decided to wait and do it next year. And some of you know about the Southside Fall Festival, and we really enjoy doing that. But you know, life happens. So yeah. Alright. So we're going to flatten our crimp. There we go. And then we're going to take the last one, add a crimp, thread it through the last bar, thread our thread through the crimp, pull it, and then you're going to flatten your crimp there we go. And then I'm just gonna cut it off because, like I said, this is just for video. There you go, look at that. And it's perfect fit. There you go, you guys. I hope you liked this video. I hope you really enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it. And I cannot wait to make more of these bracelets. Fiona, I hope you enjoy this video. I hope you find it helpful, and that I explain things in a way that, you know, you can understand. I hope I didn't confuse you. If I did, I am so sorry. But here it is, guys. There's the bracelet on the beading loom. Yay! I'm so happy. Alright guys, have a great day. Thank you for joining me. If you like this, give me a thumbs up. Leave your suggestions in the comments. If you have another way of ending these that are better, I'm up for that. But that is the basic loom work. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you. Bye.